Since the 7th of July, Evolve has gone free to play. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the game or you haven't heard about it before, Evolve basically revolves around 5 players. It's a first-person shooter game, as you can see here. There's some footage of the game. And there's a team of 4 human players chasing up a monster player, so it's 4v1 in a way. It has a very unique model to it. Now, the difference here is that if the monster manages to stay alive long enough, it can get strong enough to defeat the players. It's basically a cat and mouse chase, and if the mouse eats enough cheese, it can beat the cat. In theory, this all sounds good, but it suffered from some flaws. Now, the game had so much hype behind it and got everyone excited about it, myself included. I've even done some live streams from the beta before the game was even launched. And that seemed to be going quite well. Now, the base game costed $60. Obviously, it's a AAA title, brand new. And it came with an abundance of DLC. And combined with repetitive gameplay and a lack of variety, the community of the game and the hype for the game died quite quickly. But the developers have now announced that they're making Evolve free to play on PC starting July the 7th as a beta. Not only that, but they're also giving it a full overhaul and making it what it should have been from the start. So not only the game is going to be free now, they're also changing the core mechanics and gameplay. So basically, they're reworking the entire game from the start. Now, here's a small list of upcoming changes. The hunter classes are being reworked to make the teams less reliant on having experienced trappers and medics. Maps and user interface improvements. Better load times and overall performance improvements. Improving the stability of the game and fixing bugs. Complete rework of progression system and tutorials. Last but not least, more customization options. Now, you must be thinking, what about those who paid for Evolve? And what about guys who got the season pass and all the DLC for Evolve and spent tons of money on it? Anyone right now who owns Classic Evolve will be given a founder status in this new free version. All the content that you had already obviously comes with you to the new version, and fans and early adopters will get gifts, rewards, and special access to other things. So again, it's not going to divide the community, but it's going to kind of split them up in people who owned the game before, and obviously people who are only in for the free to play. Now, I don't think right now that people who paid hundreds of dollars for the game before are very happy about it. And it's in the way that you spend at the very least $60 if you got it, as soon as the game came out, to get the game, only for a year later to be free for everyone. And yeah, the game is only about a year and a half old, and it's free to play. Now, it's a bit, in my opinion, of a slap on the face of their loyal customers who spent a lot of money getting the game, especially with all the DLC and microtransactions and all that, only for them to make it, free and scrap everything that they've paid for a year later for everybody else. It's been 3 days since the game has gone free to play, and the player count has jumped 16,000% from what it was. The day before it went free to play, the peak user count was about 157 players. That's when it was at its highest. The day after the game went free to play, the numbers jumped from more than 24,000. That is a giant difference. It went from a completely almost dead game to actually, having a player base once again. Now, still compared to the free-to-play games, it's not really that much. I mean, 24,000 for a peak, it's decent, but it's nothing, to be too much excited about. But it's still quite high. Considering how much the game has changed since the launch, old Steam reviews don't really apply anymore. Recent Steam reviews, however, do seem to be positive. So there's still a few complaints here and there, but please do keep in mind the game is still in beta again. even though it's been a year since launch and the game just went in beta again. Things are changing, things are improving, things are getting better. You just gotta, work with the game here in the developers, I suppose. Now, here's the part of the video where I put my 2 cents on this. No matter what picture 2K and the developers are trying to paint now, I haven't forgot that a year ago, where it was all about DLC, it was all about money, right? There was DLC announced and showcased even before the actual freaking base game. There was too many core issues with the game. There was bugs, glitches. It was boring. I mean, the game got old and repetitive quite quickly, and that was the number one complaint. Not to mention that it was expensive, and I think the game pretty much took all the wrong turns to start with. To the point that the community died quite quickly, and for an online game, if you don't have an active community, then new players are not really going to stick around. Why are you going to play a dead game, if there's nobody else playing it? That's just how it is. I will say one thing before I carry on is that I did get myself excited about this game as well. I did quite enjoy it. It seemed to be really, quite a fun game. It was great. It seemed to be going in the really right direction until it, kind of didn't. But after all has been said and done, they still made a profit on the game, right? The game did sell well. The game was well received to start with, and it was extremely hyped and really well marketed. The game did do well. I mean, it got old, people left it, but I mean, it's not like you got a refund. By the time you got bored of it, you couldn't get a refund. You've already paid for it. So this could be a genuine change of heart, where the developers are just looking at a dead game and want to turn it around because they now are actually listening to the community. So what do? Do we just leave the game as is, or do we actually do something about it and try to, get people excited about it once again and make it what it should have been to begin with? It generally seems that that's the case. However, the cynical part of me thinks that this could be another opportunity for microtransactions and pay to win. Yeah, that's right. Considering how the game launched, how much it cost, how much shit they've had for how much the game cost, and all the DLC, and the game has been out for about a year and a half, and it's already sold, already made a profit. They've already got money. They've already made the money. Whatever they do now is just building a community again and, getting ready for Evolve 2, I suppose. So, making it free to play now is not going to make a difference on the money that they've already made. So that's why I'm thinking that perhaps the microtransactions and pay to win won't be something that's a part of it. At least nothing's been mentioned so far. Now, there isn't really that much of a difference that when games come out day one, they're being sold for $60, only for a year later, they're being sold on, you can grab the Game of the Year edition on Steam for like $10. So this isn't much different. The game comes out, you pay $60 for it. A year later, it's absolutely free to play. So it's not like you lost anything, I guess. I will keep tracking the game, and it does seem indeed that it does have potential. I'll keep reporting on it should anything dodgy happening or change. In the meantime, there's links in the description where you can get it and play for free. And if you haven't played it yet, then I would suggest, at least have a try with it. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one.